Okay, so I've got to change the names, I got to change the addresses, and obviously some other things for this video, which you will soon find out why. But this is absolutely one of the wildest things that has happened, one of the craziest things I've ever experienced while running my business. So, as you can imagine, being in business for over 2 decades, we've got a significant lead flow. And with that lead flow comes the need for an answering service because there is no way that I can answer all of these calls. And because I have systemized and automated the pressure washing business to a point where it takes relatively little babysitting on my part, my attention and focus is just not there. It's on quote IQ, and that's my real passion, and that is where the majority of my time is spent. Regardless, like I said, when a call comes in, our virtual call team answers the call. It collects all of their information, and then it delivers all that information as well as a recording of the call and a transcript to my email. So then I open up the email, I see the name, I see the phone number, I see the email address, the property address, as well as the scope of work. Now, immediately, because I'm very familiar with my city, I know the exact area where this house is located. It's downtown Savannah, really high end, historic, easily valued at probably $4 million. So, because this call came in on the phone, either myself or Wes will review it and then respond. Fortunately, in this case, or maybe unfortunately, I see it first, right? And all the contact information is already stored in the CRM because it's automatically created when a new contact hits the call team. Okay, so I start creating the estimate. I go to Map Measure Pro. I measure out the property. Then I look at the street view just to see what we're dealing with. And just like the message said, it's a 3-story brownstone, and I can see that there are two sides because it's connected to one building. Two sides that are concrete or stucco, and I can tell from the pictures that it is very, very dirty. So I've got a number in my head already based on the visual and the measurement. But because this was going to be a relatively higher ticket quote, I wanted to do a little more double checking. So I pulled up the property record, and the first thing that I noticed was the name that was given on the email, the call that came through. It was not matching up with what was on the property record for that owner. And sometimes, things, whatever, but it was a red flag. And I'm not going to go into that here, but there are things that you need to be aware of because there are a lot of signs that you can pick up on that can help you determine a lot of things when you're out quoting, right? And unfortunately, because of the world that we live in, I don't talk about these things publicly, but they are very important to understand. And I'm talking about key indicators that can help you navigate, through your business, right? Let's just call it the customer funnel that we're navigating through. So now that my spidey senses are tingling, I copy and pasted the phone number into Google, and immediately pops up another cleaning services name. Now, there was no Google profile, there was no website associated with this particular name or this email. There was just a random listing on like a local website promoting the business. And with all of that being said, again, because I've done this for so long and experienced so many things, and I run into it a lot. And yes, it has to do with the time that I've been in business, obviously, but also the fact that I've got a relatively large presence on social media. And people, they like to call me, right? Which is actually my business. So you're actually never going to talk to me because I don't answer the phone, or they will hit the website and they'll use InstaQuote to try to figure out pricing. And look, we've got InstaQuote set up on myquoteiq.com so you can see, how it all works, pricing structure. The back end is not visible, but there's an entire pricing matrix that you set up based on all of your pricing, your, parameters that you set up. And it's phenomenal, 24-hour salesperson. But please don't use my website. But because of all those things, I'm very aware that people are fishing for pricing all of the time. And it does get a little bit tiresome, but I do understand it. Regardless, because it's me and I'm kind of a prick, or maybe I just have a little different sense of humor than most, I don't know. You can tell me what you think in the comment section. Am I a prick or am I just funny? Or I guess better yet, do I just think I'm funny? Anyway, I sent this guy a message and tell him that the price for this building and the concrete is going to be $500. And now I'm going to read you the exchange after that, which is pretty funny, but it's during that exchange where I kind of start diving a little bit deeper, and my initial thought of messing with this guy completely changed, and you'll understand why in a second. And thank God I was inquisitive, and there was a couple red flags, which led me to what I discovered. And we're going to read the text messages. So my text message to him after receiving the call from the voice, from our team, it says, "Hey there, this is Mike with All American. We can clean the house and concrete for $500. And so the immediate response comes back for the address. And obviously, I'm not going to say it for obvious reasons that you'll soon find out. The 4-story brick building. And I respond back, correct. And he responds back, awesome. And is that priced by square foot? If so, curious what the price per square foot is. Okay. Red flag, because if he owned the building, he would know how many square feet it is, and then he could do some simple math. And then he says, and 500 is for the front, side, and back. And so I respond back, I'm just messing with you. I Googled your number and saw you're a cleaning company, figured you were just fishing for prices. And he responds back, haha, yeah, man, you got me. I'm just a young guy with a daughter on the way trying to start a pressure washing company and was trying to figure out a pricing scale. I would appreciate any advice. Right. So now I'm thinking, like so many others, he saw my YouTube channel and he figured he could just call. And so it was at this point where I decided I wasn't going to mess with the guy. I was just going to help him out. Young guy's got a daughter looking to better himself. And I'm glad I made that decision. And you'll find out in a little bit why. So I said, hey, man, how did you find my company? And his response was he used Google. Okay, good. So he doesn't know me from YouTube, which is a plus. So I said, I would suggest just watching YouTube, lots of info. Okay. And he responds, I know, I was just trying to get an idea of local pricing, which again, I respect the game, and I'd do the same thing if I was just starting out. It's common practice, right? It's annoying for me, but I would do the exact same thing. But I also wanted to know and help him, because the more we help our competitors, the less likely they are to erode the margins in our markets. So I wanted to know if he was actually trying to quote that specific house or building, because it was a big one, or was he just some random building that he chose because this building was going to take a little bit more planning, a little bit more experience than just a regular old house wash. And with some of the things that he was saying, I kind of figured that's where he was at. So I say, are you trying to actually quote that building? His response, yes, I am. Okay, so this changes things because I have a feeling that he is going to be in way over his head. So I asked a very simple question. What kind of equipment do you have? And he said that he's got a 4,200 PSI power washer and another one that's 3,200 PSI with 24-foot extenders, 20-foot ladder, a surface cleaner, extension cords, and a couple hoses, just mainly equipment suitable for residential jobs, nothing too fancy. Okay, respectable, he's got some good stuff, he's ready to roll, he's out here hustling, he wants to get these jobs, he somehow got that quote, so good for him. But I think the equipment might be a problem, right? The extension cords threw me because that would lead me to believe that he had an electric pressure washer, but the 4,200 PSI got to be gas for sure. And the 24-foot extenders, not exactly sure what that is. I'm assuming like yellow noodle things, but still from what I saw on that text message, it probably wasn't going to get the job done for what I saw on Quote IQ and the map and all that stuff. So I told him, quote him $6,500, and that is on the cheap side. The back and sides are going to be a bitch if you don't have a soft wash system. Permits to close the sidewalk, parking is also going to be an issue. And I said some jobs just aren't worth it. And then he says this, what is a soft wash system? Followed by, and would you have to get on a ladder for this job with the equipment that you guys have, or can you do it from ground level? Now, my response was, we would do it all from the ground. This building would probably take us about 3 hours max. This is a dirty ass building, and you would need to either have a soft wash system or apply pressure to every square inch to give the customer the results that they want. Okay. But honestly, if you're asking these type of questions, you're not ready yet for this type of job. And I would encourage you to research online, use YouTube to learn as much as you can. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting your time, your energy, and you're not going to be making any money. I got to run. Best of luck to you. Okay. This was more time than I would normally spend with someone like this. But again, I do want to help people. That's why I make these videos. That's why I have all the training programs that we have, like how to wash, and that we also offer the 8-week one-on-one training that Justin and I do to help people grow their businesses and achieve their goals. But I had to roll. That was a bunch of good free advice. Anyway, his response was, okay, thank you for your time, and I appreciate it. So that was that. And then just out of curiosity, I copy and pasted his name into Google, and something popped up. And if you recall, I said that there was a red flag because of his name. Well, his name was very unique, one that I'd never heard or seen before. And apparently this gentleman, or someone in Savannah with the exact very unique name, was accused of murder in 2020. There were easily 30 articles on this. He was facing multiple charges, including malice murder, felony murder, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and aggravated assault following the shooting death of a man on, they put a date in there, obviously, that I'm not going to mention. So I'm not sure exactly what was going on or if this is even the same guy, but quite a coincidence. And with everything that happened during COVID back then in the legal system, it really wouldn't surprise me if somebody that was indicted by a grand jury could possibly still have not gone to trial and maybe be out on bail. Who knows? But as long as he gets his pricing up and doesn't affect the market, we're going to let the old justice system handle the rest. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.